So we do have some soccer news, quite a bit actually. But finally, the U.S. men's national team versus Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I mean, it wasn't a terrible game, right? Right, so
It was a good game, which we talked about last week. They lost 5-1, and we were worried about Brazil. I had boots on the ground. I was there in Orlando. We actually have pictures of the stadium and me in Orlando, and I got a lot of laughs from. So that 1849. That's the 18 minutes until the game starting, and I sent that picture to my friends and I said, stop the count.
yeah, right.
Because I would have taken a 0-0 against Brazil, but you know what else I'll take? A 1-1, which was what the score ended up being. One of the biggest questions going into Copa America, which we're going to do a little preview after this, is how Joe Scally, our right back, was going to do since Serginho Dest got injured. And Scally was the only one who played somewhat decently against Colombia, and he played really well against Brazil. He's goes against Luis Diaz against Colombia, and then now he's basically tracking against Vinny Jr. These are two top players. So the fact that he did so well, props to Joe Scally there. Gio Reyna also played really well and provided a lot of cover for Joe Scally, going deep into the midfield and showing some defensive skills, which he's really not known for being a defensive player. He's more of an attacking midfielder, or sometimes plays as a winger. But I like that he showed that we can rely on him for defense if we're playing against teams that are better than us. I would like for our first two games are going to be against Bolivia and Panama in the Copa America, and I would really like to have him play more forward and giving that through balls to our number nines, because our number nines didn't really get any service in either of the two games. So I would like him to be farther up the field for that. But we play Uruguay. Yeah, put him back there. Have him be part of the defense. Our one goal did happen from Christian Pulisic in the 26th minute. And one thing that I'm going to point out before we watch is notice the scoreboard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all right, here we go. Let's watch.
0-1, brah.
What's up, brah? Oh, yeah. Good goal. Good fucking goal, man.
They couldn't even believe it. They were like, oh, Brazil scored again.
That's 2-0 now. Right. Yeah.
And we
get it right, folks.
Especially after the way we played against Colombia. They're like, what's going on?
And we have another angle of this goal. It's the same goal, but from the goal itself.
Yeah, from the goalpost. I mean, you gotta wonder what Brazil's line. I mean, they're probably doing that to try to frame it for him to get, but still, I don't know. Just underestimating USA, I guess.
You had the U.S. players there joining in the wall with Brazil, and they got out of the way in perfect time for the ball to go through and for us to score. So shout out Christian Pulisic there. He scored against Brazil. We did have several chances in this game to win. Brazil also had several chances in this game to win. Matt Turner made 11 saves. So that's good because he did not play well against Colombia. But all in all, I'm proud of our boys. This is the type of intensity that I want them to play with. Do not play like you did against Colombia, because not only is it that we lost, which if we lost but we play with heart and we play hard, then I'm okay with that. But when we completely give up and play the way that we did against Colombia, that's when it's really heartbreaking. So play with intensity, play with heart, play like the U.S.
Yeah, you've got valiant losses, but then you also have embarrassing ones.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you're laying down and like a dead dog, basically, that's an embarrassing loss. Like you said, so much to where they actually give the other team a point because they don't assume that you did. They assume that you didn't get it. Couldn't score. Yeah, man, Josh. I mean, how is your pride in America right now, man? I mean, are you bubbling up a little bit?
It's better.
Yeah.
This is exactly like what happened with like did we party too much the night before? Like what happened? Because this is the team that I said like last time we talked about the Columbia. I was like we all three have watched this team. This team is talented enough to hang with anybody for at least a full 85 minutes until like that one team you can just tell is a little bit better.
The last 5 minutes, we'll see.
Well, 5 minutes, it's like that's where you really have to figure out what you're made of. That's what I'm saying. It's like 85. That's 5 minutes. It's like, all right, if you're still tight, let's see if you've got enough to get over the hump. But I think you're talented enough to compete with anyone. And this showed that. Now, I know the Brazilians are going to be like, well, we didn't play with our best players, blah, 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 blah. I was like, bull crap.
They did.
They did. That's what I'm saying. So, and then people are like, well, Brazil's not as good as they. I was like, quit. The U.S. has talented players to compete with anyone. You just actually, thank God they gave a shit this game. And not what they did against Colombia. So keep doing this. And be the America that we know you are.